You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you may on Twitter the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Oscar's Path. I'm about to say Lucas's Path, no, Oscar's Path. Before we jump into it, y'all, just want to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel, get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. I just uploaded Torolf's video, y'all, so if you want to see the first night with Torolf, it's as little as $5 to join the Patreon. Anyway, alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Let's meet the boys, yeah. Let's get banged by frat. No. Okay, bad. Hey, I told you, this isn't some super elite. As long as your grades are good enough, you can convince them to let you know. Let you in? You just really need extracurricular stuff and great grades to get scholarships. Getting those is crazy around here. He can say that again. I barely made it in, let alone qualify for any scholarships. I'm just lucky my parents had some extra cash they didn't need me more. I don't think I could afford to come here otherwise. Wonder how Lee's able to afford coming here. It looks like he has a lot of money, or maybe this is the reason he doesn't have much. Come on, the guys are over there. They look to be just messing around, so we can just chat to one of them. He points towards a group of guys chilling and roughhousing near the football field. They're in what looks to be more casual gym clothes than any uniform, and there's just nowhere near enough for a full team. I guess not everyone has shown up yet. Thankfully, the football field and bleachers aren't too far, and from where we are, it's not too long before the members catch sight of us. A group of them waves towards Oscar, who gives them a thumbs up and a wink. They don't make much effort to come over and chat. It seems like a polite gesture more than anything meaningful. You know them? Them? Nah, not really. Just some guys I see around at time at parties. You'll find some of the parties you'll find around campus. Most of the frat houses, you know. I wouldn't call them close friends. We're only able to get a little bit closer before a gray wolf wearing an actual Everwinter white and blue uniform runs up to us. He's a little on the lean side compared to some of the larger guys here, but he still looks like he could crush me if he wanted. Hey, everything all right? Did you need something from one of the guys? I'm the team captain. Anything you need, just ask away. I expected Oscar to take the reins, but he just looks down at me. I guess I'm the one reading the diary, so I probably know more about this than he does. I just hope he helps me out if things get awkward. I've never really been the greatest at socializing. My lack of significant friends throughout high school can attest to that. We were hoping we could talk to someone who knew Conrad. Were you the captain when he was playing last year? Could we ask you some questions if that's alright? At the mention of Conrad, the wolf's smile falters but doesn't completely disappear. Those flattened ears and limp tail tell me that this is definitely a sore topic. I wasn't too close to him. We chatted occasionally, and I helped him with his plays, but he never came to me about his personal life. Sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry that happened. It must have been hard. It's definitely strange to come to practice with one of the guys missing. I just never expected someone to do that to him. Why would she do that? That's what we're trying to understand. Do you know anyone that could help us? He wasn't too close with a lot of guys, but I know one guy he was close with. He's with a couple guys at the back. Go chat to them. Thank you, Neil. Water time. Oh, that's some good strawberry bubbly water. The wolf points towards what looks to be a group standing a little bit away from the others. They seem to be having a good time, so hopefully they'll be willing to talk. Thanks. That's going to be a massive help. No problem. Just try to be a little nice about it. He was pretty torn up when it all happened. I'll send him a text now and let him know you're coming, so we're not dropping it on him. Well, be careful. Don't worry, man. I'm great at keeping the mood up. I bet you are, big man. If you need any help, don't be afraid to wave me over. I'll keep an eye on you guys just in case. With that, he waves us off as he walks over to another group of players. He must be popular with the way he just seamlessly slips into their conversation. Never seen him before, but I've heard of him. He's a pretty great quarterback from what I've heard. Everyone loves him. Never seen him at a party before, though. Maybe he's just studying instead. Probably. He looks like he'd get along well with... He suddenly cuts himself off and just stares ahead with a hard expression that I've never seen on his face before. He's not upset, but more concerned? Like he just tasted something weird and he doesn't know how to react. Following his gaze, I catch sight of what looks like some kind of reptile as he stares at the two of us. Wait, not the two of us. Just the otter next to me, and he doesn't look too pleased at what he sees. He pushes past the other two players he was talking to, a large Rottweiler and a lanky weasel, who both look back to see what the reptile is doing, only to land their eyes on the otter as well. It's clear from the way their eyes widen up at the sight of Oscar that they're familiar with him as well, though their reactions are vastly different. The canine just rubs his face and sighs, while the weasel's grin grows to such a mischievous level that it sends a chill down my spine. He looks to follow after the reptile, only for the canine to grab his arm and yank him away. It leaves the reptile stalking towards us, eyes focused solely on Oscar. Oh boy! Who is he? He doesn't give me an answer. His eyes are not looking anywhere but the reptile in front of him, like he's considering his avenues for escape. Despite this, he doesn't look scared, but more exasperated. Whatever's about to come, it's clear Oscar wants no part in it. For a moment, I thought he was actually going to leave, but his gaze falls on me, and he attempts to give me a reassuring smile, failing miserably in the process. As he gets closer, I can see the reptile is actually a skink. He's wearing a plain purple tank top and white shorts. He's lacking any kind of accessories other than a small piercing where his right eyebrow should be. From the distance, he looks much too skinny to be a football player, but now that he's closer, I can see that he's surprisingly defined, and his thighs are larger than both of mine combined. Sure, they're nowhere near Oscar's, but he's in a totally different ballgame. For someone as lean as the skink is, it's clear he's just as much of an athletic as the larger guys on his team. Now that he's closer, his scowl has lost a bit of the sting that it had when he first started stalking towards us, but whenever his eyes flick over to me, there's a wave of uncertainty that flows over his face for a moment. Hey, Oscar. Hey! You seriously don't remember, do you? Actually, you never told me your name. Can't blame me for that one. Skink eyes drops as he ponders what the otter said. Eventually, he just lets out a sigh and just folds his arms. The attitude radiating off this guy is palpable. Fine. It's Nathan. He's a little guy, your latest victim. What's your name? Don't worry, I won't bite. I'm not the one you need to worry about here. So, water time. Jeez, it wasn't that serious. That caused the skink to squint his eyes at the otter, and if a glare could cut stone, there's no doubt in my mind that Oscar would be sliced in half. I'll decide if it's that serious. What happened? Your friend here did a pump and dump on me. Oh, what? We just had a one-night stand. It was just a hookup. Except you didn't have to avoid me like the plague and block my number. I ran into you while heading to practice and you just ignored me. I thought it was crazy, but you did it again until I gave up. Now Nathan doesn't even look angry anymore. He just looks sad. Oscar picks it up too, and despite the fact that he still looks as uncomfortable as ever, his eyes do droop the moment the reptile's anger dissipates. Hey man, I didn't mean to make you upset. I meant it literally when I said it wasn't serious. It wasn't anything but a one-night stand. I have a rule that I don't keep in touch with people I sleep with. Hold on. That's news to me. Did I hear that right? Oscar not only doesn't keep in touch with people he sleeps with, but he also actively avoids them entirely? Huh? Oscar must have noticed my ears shooting up because he looks down at me with a surprised look on his face like he was just realizing what he had said. Who's this supposed to be? Your latest victim? Jesus, Oscar, you look so cute and nice. How about... Okay, boys, that's enough. Ryan finally let me go, so I'm gonna slide in here before things get ugly. It's the weasel. Oh, it's the weasel who the skink was talking to from before. I didn't even notice him approaching us. It's like he appeared out of thin air. Even Oscar looked shocked at the weasel's sudden appearance. Piss off, Wilf. This doesn't concern you. Actually, it will soon if this keeps up. I managed to talk to Ryan over there. He points over towards the bench where the Rottweiler from earlier is sitting and watching the two of us. Well, watching is a bit generous, as he immediately facepalms the moment the mustelid points him out to us. Next to him is the wolf that chatted to us earlier. While he's clearly trying to hide it, it's obvious that he's watching us as well. This would be a pretty big deal for Nathan if they're this concerned about it. And he finally agreed to let me come in and defuse the situation before Carter or Coach has to get involved. You're looking a little steamy, and if I had to guess, this must be Oscar. I'm able to get a closer look at the weasel, and the first thing I notice is just how different we look, and not just in body type. His fur is a totally different color to mine. Instead of my pure white, he only's got patches of white fur on his neck that lead up to his face and down to his chest. The rest of his fur is a beautiful shade of burnt sienna that makes me jealous. While Nathan's tank top looks properly fitted and like someone ready for training, Wilf's white one looks obscenely large and several sizes too big for such a lanky body. Unlike Oscar's, where it feels like a choice for comfort, the weasel's feels deliberately stretched to the point where it barely covers anything. He's clearly trying to show off his body. Not hard to see why, either. I was surprised when I saw Oscar the first time with how much muscle he had. But while this guy has nowhere near the mass of the otter, he has enough definition that he reminds me of Selwyn, but even more. Oh, one second, water time. He's probably one of the skinniest guys out there. The only other member that is comparable is a rabbit stretching off with another group. The main attention-grabbing thing about him, though, is his golden eyes. There's something predatory in his gaze that sends a shiver down my spine, both in fear and a little bit of something else. To call him attractive is an understatement. He might genuinely be one of the hottest guys I've ever met, but there's something about him that screams, bad idea. I'm just glad he's focusing on Oscar and doesn't seem to have noticed me. The way he's devouring the otter would probably be too much for me, though Oscar looks to be very aware of the weasel's gaze. I'm kidding, I know who you are. You're Selwyn's little buddy, or big buddy, I suppose.
You're friends with Selwyn? He's never mentioned a weasel before.
We're more distantly connected. Just causes my eyebrows to raise even further, and Oscar tosses me a confused glance as well. Whoever this guy is, it's clear that the otter has no idea who he is. I have to ask Selwyn sometime.
Wilf?
Don't worry. From what Nathaniel here has told us, it sounded pretty clear that it was supposed to be a one-night stand. He just got a little hopeful for his first time.
Hey, shut up!
You've admitted that you were the stupid one, and as much as I love watching you squirm, and I do very much enjoy it, Carter asked me this as a favor, so suck it up and talk to the guys. Don't be such a bitch.
You can talk, you're the most petty bitch here.
But at least I keep it under control. Now, talk or don't, but hurry this up. People are beginning to notice. That causes all of us to look around and notice that many of the groups, not just members of the football team, have noticed a rather heated discussion going on here. That manages to get the skink to flush up, and that causes the weasel to giggle before sauntering away. Or he begins to before his eyes land on me, and he makes a sudden turn towards me. He just looks over me before leaning down until his face is level with my own. There's that familiar mustard scent coming off of him that reminds me of home, but there's a spiciness to his that makes me want to lean in more. It's a good thing I have enough decency and self-control to not do that. I feel like that would be like making a deal with the devil. It doesn't stop him from leaning in close to my ear, his breath tickling it as he whispers quiet enough so no one else can hear. Damn, aren't you cute? What are you doing messing around with a guy like that? He's part of my media group. We both know that's not all. I can see it in your eyes. Normally I'd tell you to not get your hopes too high with someone like that, but I know your type. You guys tend to have a way to get what you want that even I don't understand. What? Don't stress about it. You just remind me of someone else. You can ask your little lion friend about that one. Then he just walks away with no goodbye or anything, leaving me a little dazed with the scent clogging up my nose. I have a feeling I won't see that guy again, despite how strange he was. He did help calm things down.
You alright? You look a little out of it.
Ooh, excuse me. Second, now. Water time.
Ooh. Oscar's kneeling down next to me. I didn't even notice he'd started rubbing my back. It's enough to help me get back into the proper headspace after that detour. Nathan's much calmer everything the weasel just did, but he still doesn't look too fond of the otter. But he's ignoring him enough to just focus on me now.
Sorry about that. I should have made a scene.
Sorry about that. I shouldn't have made a scene over nothing. It's fine. I don't think anyone here expected that.
His eyes shoot over to the otter, and despite the flare of annoyance, I do soften enough for him to hold a hand out to the otter in a peace offering.
I'm still not a fan of you, but I guess I'm being a little unreasonable.
Oscar takes it without hesitating, flashing that wonderful bright smile that never fails to lift up the mood. It's even doing a shockingly good job on the skink, though he tries to dwell it fast. Tries to quell it fast?
Water under the bridge, man. I don't like to dwell on these kind of things. So let's just move on and let it go.
Sure, I'm more than willing to pretend it never happened. There's a spark in Oscar's eye that tells me he wants to say something else. Likely something about the previous encounter, but he has the tact to keep it to himself.
I'm perfectly fine with forgetting it too. It'll make things easier.
The skink takes that as an agreement with his statement, but it feels like Oscar's referring to something else entirely. There's no basis for it other than my own intuition, but it feels like there's something more there. Oh, well, it's probably not important. Yeah, it's interesting, actually.
I'm sorry you had to see all that. You don't look like you deserved any of it.
Nathan's talking to me now. There's an embarrassment to his voice that makes me want to give him a big hug. It's such a stark contrast to how he was when he was cursing Oscar out. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that I'm going to go ahead and give a quick shout out to my lovely patrons. Thank you to all of our bronze tier patrons. Thank you for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. We love you. You're awesome. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You are amazing, good sir. We hope you appreciate your new icon. Anyway, y'all, if y'all want your name on the end credits, it's as little as $5. And anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!